In this video, I'm going to give a brief explanation of how I record MIDI drum files as well as wave files for songwriters. If you're a songwriter and you would like a really dynamic drum performance that best fits your song, or maybe you want to replace a drum machine, or maybe use a drum program like Steven Slate, Superior Drummer, Easy Drummer, or BFD, I'm now offering MIDI drum files as well as wave files for a small fee. I have a Roland TD20 V-Drum electric drum set that I have tweaked out to the way I play. I perform your song on it. I have that MIDI'd into Pro Tools, and I record a MIDI file. From there, I use two different programs. I use a Steven Slate program as well as BFD, and I choose the drum sounds that best fit your song. Once I've performed your song, I'll send you an MP3 to make sure that you like it. If there's any changes you want to make, I'll be happy to make those changes, as well as change the drum sounds. For those of you who are not familiar with the drum programs, basically what they are is they're really high-end studios that have recorded, really high-end drums with great mics, great preamps, great rooms, and that's all in the drum program. Here we have a MIDI drum file, and if you look to your left, you have a keyboard. And then you have all these little dots. Each one of these dots represent a drum in the drum set. If you look at this, this is bass drum. And then this would be snare drum. And then you have first tom, second tom, your floor tom. And then have your hi-hat. Then you have the tip of your hi-hat here. Then you also have crash cymbals. And if I scroll up a little higher, you'll have another crash cymbal. Here's the MIDI page in BFD2. And if you notice, you have all these drums loaded into these little squares. They're assigned to notes on the keyboard here on your left-hand side. So if I go to the first drum, which is S1, and that's kick drum, I'll go down to this highlighted key, which says S1, kick drum, and that's assigned to note C2. If I go to snare drum, that is S2, and if I go to this highlighted key, it says S2 snare drum, which is assigned to note D2 on the keyboard. If I go to hi-hat, hi-hat is assigned to S3. If I go down to this highlighted key, it is S3 hi-hat, which is A-sharp 2. So if you use a different drum program than I use, like Striker, Superior Drummer, Easy Drummer, some of the drums may be on different notes. If you take a screenshot of your MIDI page like this, I can arrange all the notes in their proper spots, so when you get the MIDI page or the MIDI file, it will play perfectly for you with no problems. Okay, here I have the drums individualed out of the drum program with the MIDI file on their own separate tracks. I have it set up as kick, snare, hat, tom 1, tom 2, tom 3, ride, crashes, China cymbal, room mic 1, and room mic 2. So here's the kick, snare, and then your room mics, and also your toms. So not only will you get the MIDI file, but you'll get the drums as wave files as individual tracks. Getting started. First thing I'll need is an MP3 of your song with all the instruments on it. You can send the drums on a separate MP3 if you like, but I like to have an MP3 of just, guitar, bass, piano, whatever you're using. A vocal's really helpful, but it's not necessary. A couple things I'll need to know also are your sample rate, 44.1, 48, your bit rate, 16 or 24, and one of the most important things I'll need to know the tempo or the beats per minute that you record the song. The recording format that I use is Pro Tools 9, and I use a Macintosh computer. If you use any other digital recording system like Logic, Nuendo, Cubase, the MIDI files and the wave files will work perfectly. There will be no problems at all with using it. If you want to use just the wave files, it's no problem. They'll fit right in. because I'll export everything out as a WAV file. So they're easily transferable between the different programs. All styles of music are welcomed. I'm going to show some video clips of some different styles of music that I play. If you'd like some more information on my background, you can go to my website, which is www.rorydrum.com.